Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Today is Friday, October 18th, and Bitcoin is at 68,600. We are approaching 69,000. But more importantly, Doge is approaching 14 cents. And now, as I've mentioned before on this channel, you're not going to have a situation where everything you invested in is going up at the same time, unless you only have two or three names. But if you're a PIF member, you're following our portfolios, you're going to wake up pretty much every day and something's going to be mooning. And so today is a dog day. Today is a day where Doge is proving itself yet again to be the Bitcoin of meme coins. And so we'll talk about an unexpected catalyst that came the way of Doge and why it is perhaps doing as well as it has been. We'll also check in on the markets. We're going to keep it light today. It's Jummah, end of the week. So we'll keep it lighthearted. We're not gonna be bashing any companies today. Dow Jones today is pretty flat, up 0.05%. Nasdaq is up 0.68%. S&P is up 0.4%. Russell is pretty much flat, down 0.08%. Dollar index weakened a bit. That's good for us. And the VIX is down 5.6%. So maybe investors are feeling less nervous about geopolitical risks. But nevertheless, it is down. So whether that's justified or not, it's down. We'll take it. Tesla is up slightly, 221 per share is what it's trading hands at. Nvidia is at $138 per share. Got a bit of a bounce here in lithium, but PLL is still down. Keep in mind, this is a heavily shorted stock, so movements in either way are going to be very exaggerated. BitDeer is up 5.45%. Iris Energy is up 4.47%. The Bitcoin miners continue to print money for us. Alhamdulillah. Oclo up another 23%, guys. Ouch. Yeah, you see a name like that does 100% in a week, and you have to say to yourself, you know what? It just wasn't my rizq. It just wasn't meant to be. There's always opportunities someplace else. And keep in mind, Oclo is another one of those names that's heavily shorted, so its movements in either direction are going to be exaggerated. I'd rather think about it. My head, my experience tells me this is a better name to think about it after it overshoots on the way down rather than overshoots on the way up. ASML, I told you guys this is a good company. It is up 2.84%. Celsius is up 5%. Lucid is down again. TSM is paring back some of its gains, down 2%. It was close to 2%. It was up close to 12% yesterday. Gold is up. Silver is up. Oil is down. This is good for inflation. Bitcoin, as I mentioned, knocking on the doors of 69,000. Let's talk about Bitcoin for a second. The Bitcoin ETFs had a really Assalamu alaikum, chocolate. Assalamu alaikum, Zuhair. We're keeping it light today. No politics. No, we love politics because, I love to make jokes about politicians and politics in general. So we'll talk a little bit about politics. But we won't take ourselves too seriously. The cumulative flows to gold versus spot Bitcoin ETFs, just to put things into context, because I think this is quite indicative and puts the growth of spot Bitcoin ETFs really in context and gives us something to compare it against. So when you look at the cumulative flows into gold ETFs, it's been 20 years, more than 20 years, and they're currently right around 50 billion. You can see the cumulative flows of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which have just launched this year. So spot gold ETFs have had a 20-year head start. Whoops. Uh, I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been sharing my screen. No. All right. So let's share. All right. But who needs to see the numbers anyway? You guys trust me, right? So spot Bitcoin ETFs, you can see that's the blue line here. Uh, it's it exceeded um, it exceeded 20 billion in cumulative flows since the start of the year. Spot gold ETFs have had a 20-year head start, and they're just at 50 billion. So you can see the blue line is basically going vertically up. This is why I continue to believe that the that Bitcoin will be at least a major form of gold in the future. So a major source of wealth preservation, a major tool to use for wealth preservation. It's not going to be the only one, but it will be one of the main ones. And we're seeing this. We're seeing this in its growth. We're seeing it in the returns. Obviously, if you zoom in on a particular week, you might not be able to see that. But if you zoom out a bit, you'll see how impressive its growth has been. And so our thesis remains very strong with regards to Bitcoin and why we are invested in it. But Bitcoin is not the fastest mover. It's the largest crypto, but that doesn't mean it's the fastest mover. If we look at some of the alts here, Doge is up 13% on the day. One of the biggest gainers on the day. Over the week, it's up a cool 25%. So, like I said, not all of your positions are going to go up at the same time, but at any given point, you should have at least one or two positions that are doing extremely well. At this point, Doge is doing extremely well. And why is that? Well, we did get a sort of catalyst that was unexpected. So, as you know, Trump is pulling ahead in the elections. At least as per these polls, if they mean anything, if they're in any way accurate, it appears that Trump is going to have a historical landslide victory when the November elections come around. And you got to say, it's not like he had tough competition, really. I mean, you saw that meme. Basically, Obama was thinking, okay, who's less intelligent than me that I can make into a vice president? And he thought of Biden. And Biden thought to himself, well, who's less intelligent than me that I can make vice president? And he thought of Kamala Harris. And she thought, who's less intelligent than me that I can make my vice presidential running mate? And she thought of Tim Walz. So kind of tells you what you need to know about Tim Walz. Poor guy. But yeah, so Harris is not really that high on the IQ ladder. This is just my observation. I try to be objective here. I'm not trying to bully in any way, but that's just a statement of fact. And I think the I think the voters have noticed this, and so it's showing up on the polls. And so, what does this relate to Dogecoin? Well, Dogecoin is associated with Musk, and Musk has been touted to lead the potential Doge department when, if Trump is elected, which appears to be more and more likely. Doge, that is standing for the Department of Government Efficiency. So this is, I mean, as far as meme coins go, this is just a source of added marketing for the Doge coin. So Elon Musk discussed plans for a Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE, leading to a surge in Dogecoin's price, pushing it above 13 cents for the first time since late July. And folks, I think there's a lot more where that came from. Musk's backing of Trump and potential implications of Doge have sparked increased interest and speculative trading in Doge, the cryptocurrency. So that's a catalyst that was not on the radar. But the most ironic outcome is often the most likely. Life is full of surprises, and if just to give you guys a a taste of Elon Musk talking about this very topic, we'll go to a video here because videos are interesting. All right. Volume is on.
Of the Department of Government Efficiency?
Yeah, Doge.
Yep.
And folks, that's all you need to send a meme coin to the moon, because I mean, meme coins are about awareness, they're about mentions in the press, and the more mentions it gets, the higher the price goes, and so that's what we're seeing here.
What do you think about we stop giving money to other countries such as Israel, Ukraine, and we stop funding forever wars that most likely is going to the deep state anyway?
Yeah. Well, I think in general the amount of waste that happens with the federal government is really staggering. It's a staggering amount of waste of taxpayer money. And if we're, for any given expenditure, we have to say, well, what does this do for the citizens of America? Like, how is this good for the people of America? It's their money. Like, for some weird reason, a lot of people in the sort of, state or whatever, the politicians, they seem to forget that the money being spent is your money. And if it's not being spent in a way that is beneficial to the American people, it's a misuse of the funds.
So I obviously support a Department of Government Efficiency. The country is going bankrupt. It's very important for us to rein in spending if the country is to remain solvent. So this is a great idea. Doge is a great idea, and that's great marketing for this cryptocurrency. Now, not to mention, there have been some other bullish tidbits of news. One of them coming from this X user. So they did find where they're circling around the mention of Dogecoin in the Tesla website code. I think that's actually old, but what I'm not sure is old is the DogePay container that's and references to DogePay. I wonder if there's some, if there is a DogePay that could be coming to X. I know that Tesla and their merchandise, that's a very limited use. But if you were to add something like DogePay, tipping, you're able to subscribe to your favorite creator on X using Doge. That would be fantastic for this cryptocurrency. It would give it immediately real world utility for tens of millions of people. So this would be extremely bullish. So this is I think, main catalyst that could potentially manifest for us here. And we're all about manifesting on this channel. And so, in addition to the positive marketing, Department of Government Efficiency, and the increased likelihood of Trump winning and therefore Elon Musk having some sway, over some voice in the next administration and the Doge department coming to fruition. There's also the same catalyst that we've been mentioning previously, which is the integration of Dogecoin into platform like X, which would be super bullish for this cryptocurrency. And when you look at the recent anecdotes or tidbits of information that one can look at to gauge public awareness, public excitement for this particular cryptocurrency, it still seems to hold a very prominent position in people's minds. So here's Gemini, a very popular crypto platform, asking Doge or with being one of the very successful meme coins on Solana. And Doge wins out 61 to 38. So it still seems very relevant for crypto enthusiasts. So I think there's a lot going for this crypto. This is why we were invested in it. And by the way, I mean, from a technical standpoint, Doge has the same code base as Bitcoin, the same exact code base, just a fork of Bitcoin. The difference is that it has a small but decreasing inflation rate. And this is hard-coded. It's proof of work, which I think makes it more secure than proof of stake and less susceptible to being manipulated. And so it has, I mean, if you're going to make the argument for Bitcoin, it's tough not to make an argument for Dogecoin as well. Again, it's the same code base. And I think it's more friendly, more affable. Mascot is more fluffy. So I don't see why it doesn't do very well. On a percentage basis, I think it will probably do better than Bitcoin from here until the crypto market peak. Now, obviously, it does better on the way up, does worse on the way down. Since I think we're starting on the way up here, I think that, inshallah, it is a good hold to have. Obviously, الغيب لا يعلمه إلا الله. We can't predict the future, but it just hit the 14 cents per token mark. So alhamdulillah for that. And it does seem like things are looking bullish for this cryptocurrency. With that, let's take some questions. Love the random Kamala hits. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be someone who's picking on someone. I think we should look to what can be unburdened by what has been. News and analysis with Arturo. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Amar Mahmoud says, Assalamu alaikum. What's halal rating for Injective? Amar, you are the first person to ask me this question. No, I'm just kidding. So Injective, I think, is related to a lot of DeFi, a lot of interest-bearing debt operations, and therefore I've stayed away. It seems uncomfortable. I don't think Bitcoin needs Trump. Yeah, I don't think Bitcoin needs Trump. I think it'll do well either way. Like I said, if Trump is elected, I think the catalyst for Bitcoin will be perhaps a more friendly government stance, more friendly regulations, more friendly SEC chair. That helps Bitcoin. Now, if Trump is not elected, Kamala is elected, then I think the same path that we're on, wherein there's government spending is far in excess of revenue, then the debasement of currency will be such that it supports purchasing power preservation tools like Bitcoin. Hey, Salam Rashad, nice to see you. Please make dua for us in Jum'ah. Guys, please like the live if you liked it. Sorry, I was kind of lighthearted today, probably a bit more than usual. It's Jummah. Have fun. Enjoy your weekend. I love that you were able to join us this week. Thanks for being part of our community. These lives, I mean, we can't do them, and they wouldn't be fun to do without you guys. So thanks all for coming. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Join our PIF community if you aren't already. And until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.